Hey everyone, I'm Keen947, aka Wolfkeen. Now let's talk about My Little Pony, Episode 2 of Season 1, Friendship is Magic, Part 2. See, this is a little bit better because the first episode, like I explained, it didn't give us enough information to want to continue with the show or anything like that. Yes, the villain was interesting, but not really, something you would want to continue just based off of a villain. So now we come up with Season 2. It's not Season 2. Wow, we're 25 episodes away from that. Sorry. Now we're on Episode 2 of Season 1, which is Friendship is Magic Part 2, also written by Lauren Faust. I'm going to try to get my information correct before I talk about these episodes. I'll try my best. The episode starts with basically Nightmare Moon. After she takes down the Royal Guard, she escapes, and Twilight is trying to find the Book of the Elements of Harmony because she read about this. This was something I forgot to talk about in the first vlog, and I'm sorry for that. She basically in the first episode she was reading about this thing called the Elements of Harmony, how they helped Celestia defeat Nightmare Moon. At least it was said that in the prologue. In this one, she's trying to figure out where are the Elements of Harmony, so maybe she can use them to defeat Nightmare Moon again. So she goes to the library, and of course the remaining 5 follow her there and start asking her about Nightmare Moon, and she explains everything about Nightmare Moon, and this is where we're starting to get into some of the characteristics of some of the characters, like Pinkie Pie, for instance. When she was trying to figure out where her book was, Pinkie Pie found it mad easily, and Twilight was like, "How'd you find it?" And she's like, "It was under E." I was like, see, that's a good way to play a joke. That's a good way to play a joke with a proper way. Because not only did it poke fun at common sense, it also had some very comedic elements to it, which is why, I found some fun out of that. So they read the book and they found out that the Elements of Harmony are in this place called the Everfree Forest, which apparently, you find this out in later episodes, but Ponyville was founded by Earth Ponies, and they clean up winter and other stuff like that themselves. Like, they move the weather by themselves, they feed the animals themselves, and other stuff like that. They kind of do everything that nature is supposed to do, while the Everfree Forest, everything just takes its course. I guess that's kind of foreign for them in some cases, at least in the world of Equestria. I guess I would understand that, because, It's like, someone having a different method to, I was just checking something real quick. It's like everyone having a different method to something, like, a method to rake up leaves, for instance. Like, say I rake up leaves with, like, a regular rake, and someone has a machine, I'm going to look at it like, what the hell? Like, I think that's what it's like. It's like, it's something they're not accustomed to, and I think I can understand that. So they enter the Everfree Forest, and they're hearing, like, these stories about the Everfree Forest, and of course, hearing about how dangerous it is and other stuff like that. And then some reason they fall down a cliff. Okay, I know what reason, freaking Nightmare Moon. But, they fall down a cliff, and of course, Ramdash and Fluttershy being Pegasi, they fly down and they begin to save each of them, main 6. Twilight ends up being hung off a cliff, like she's hanging out for dear life. Applejack goes there and, and grabs her. They're trying to figure out what to do, and then Applejack just says, "Let go." Like, she doesn't give any reason why to let go. She just says, "What I'm saying is the complete honesty. Let go and you'll be safe." And then Twilight lets go, and she gets caught by Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash. Applejack, maybe you could have said that. Maybe you could have said that, like, before letting go. Like, if my friend told me to let go just because I'll be fine, I would call him out on that one. Like, if my friend told me to let go because I'd be fine, I'd call him out for that one. Like, if he told me, "Oh, there's a river down there," or, "Oh, there's some kind of way, the fall's not steep enough to kill you," I could believe him. But, if he just told me let go and I'll be safe, am I supposed to really believe that? Like, honestly? I don't think anyone's gonna believe that. I know, kid show, but you get what I mean. Like, I get this is supposed to be a kid show, but that's kind of the things you have to look at in some cases, even in a kid's show. I mean, what you're telling a kid basically is to let go when your friends tell you to. Like, what? Come on! It's stupid, I know. It's really, really stupid. So afterwards, they let's see, what was next? Oh yeah, I remember. They go up against a manticore for some reason. Now I don't know anything about manticore. I know Josh Scorcher knows what it is because he's a big fan of Greek mythology. So all of the main six try to go after this manticore and they get their butts handed to them basically. And then when they all try to fight it, Fluttershy stops them, and then we get this scene where Fluttershy is trying to figure out what's the matter with the manticore, which I was like, what is she doing? I mean, she was timid to talk to Twilight, but she's not timid to talk to a manticore? I get that there are special talent as animals. I do. I just found it a little, weird. So there's a thorn in the manticore's nail, and as soon as she pulls it out, the manticore is fine and is licking Fluttershy like, yeah. Like, I don't know how to take that one. I'm not even going to explain it. Next, we move on to scary trees. Like, these weird trees have, like, these scary, like faces like that. Like, I don't know how to make their faces or anything like that. It's like this weird Halloween demonic faces. Like, they weren't scary at all. When I looked at them, they weren't scary. And I'm pretty sure they're not scary to a kid either, because if you look at pumpkins on Halloween, they're not, like, if you're used to pumpkins on Halloween, then they're nothing. So Pinkie Pie begins laughing at them, like, and all that, and then she breaks into a song. I don't like many songs in My Little Pony, and especially this one, Giggle at the Ghosties, I think it's called. I just didn't like it. So they basically laugh their way out of that situation, and they end up at a river where there's this, I forgot what it was called, but this weird hydra or something, water dragon, I don't know. He's basically sobbing and crying because his mustache got cut by Nightmare Moon's mist. And Rarity is like, no, I can't take this, like, I can't let this happen. And she takes the scale from him, which, ouch! I mean, do you know how much that has to hurt, a scale coming off you? That's like ripping a fingernail off of a human being. And then she takes that scale and cuts her tail just so she can replace the mustache. I like the sentiment, the mustache looks weird now, being purplish. Okay, granted, the thing is purple too, but I don't know, kid show, whatever. And I just love Rarity's defense. Like, oh, I don't need to worry, short tails are in this year. And besides, it'll grow back. And then Rainbow Dash says, and so will the mustache. I laughed at that a little bit because that was so true in many cases, and it felt like Rarity did that needlessly, but whatever. So they cross, and now they come up to a bridge, which is broken for some reason. Rainbow Dash goes down, gets the bridge, and then these weird, like, 3 ponies approach her called the Shadow Bolts. Another thing I forgot to mention in the first episode, she has a big fascination with the Wonderbolts. The Wonderbolts are basically these elitist flyers in Equestria, and Rainbow Dash wants to be a part of them. So, right there we get, damn it, the Shadow Bolts saying that they're the best flyers in the Everfree Forest, and they'll be the best flyers in Equestria, but they need a captain, which is Rainbow Dash. So, she gets offered to join, but she has to ditch her friends. And so, after some debating, she decides no. She decides not to side with the Shadow Bolts and decides to continue along with her friends. I found this really cool because I'm very loyal to my friends as well, so I can relate to this in many situations. And she even says the line, I never leave my friends behind. I'm like, that's perfect. Like, see, that's the kind of friend you want. That's the kind of friend you want. Like, it's hard in this day and age to find someone who's loyal, which is why I love Rainbow Dash in many cases, because it's hard to find someone loyal. I'm a very loyal person, so, like, if you were friends with me, if you asked me for a favor or something like that, if it's within my power, I'll do it. But if it's not stupid, like, if you tell me, oh, go do this, I'm going to be like, oh, f*** yourself. But, if it's manageable and I don't mind it, I'll do it. But you get what I mean. So now we move on to the Castle of the Royal Pony Sisters, where Twilight has, like, these stone things, which are possibly the elements. So now, she tries to find a way to activate them, and of course, the remaining 5 leave, which, why would you? I get it, she needs to concentrate, but you could at least stay, like, in the room instead of just leaving entirely. And then Nightmare Moon takes the elements. Twilight jumps into the last possible second and gets teleported to the other area at the other side of the castle, I guess. And so Twilight and Nightmare Moon have a fight where they both charge each other, and then Twilight just teleports right around her. Like, I was like, that was perfect. That was like a great game of chicken. That was like a reverse game of chicken in many cases. So she tries to activate the elements once again, and unfortunately her spark does not work, and Nightmare Moon destroys them. So at this point you think, oh damn, she's screwed. But in reality, she's not. Then you see a spark at night in her eyes, and then she begins understanding the elements more. She understands that the elements are inside her friends. I forgot to mention this earlier on, but the 6 elements that they mentioned. Kindness, generosity, honesty, loyalty, magic, and laughter. There we go. I almost forgot one. And laughter. There we go. All 6 of these elements represent all 6 of her friends, which I think you can tell at this point who they are. And once she activated, and once she figured this out, she figured out how much, the 5 mean to her, like how much they mean to her as her friends and everything. And that's what ignited the 6 elements, not only in her friends, but in herself, thus allowing them to use the elements of harmony, thus allowing them to defeat Nightmare Moon. And of course, we get the "Taste the Rainbow, motherfucker!" and all that kind of stuff. Like, do I really need to go into it? I need to stop doing voices like that. So, anyways, after the main 6 defeat Nightmare Moon, Celestia appears, saying that she knew full well about this situation occurring, and she knew it would be up to Twilight to actually do it, but she had to let friendship into her heart. That was the only way she could do it. I'll honestly admit that is pretty cool that not only did she teach Twilight a life lesson, but she also taught Twilight, other things and stuff like that. See, that's what made that really cool. And of course, Princess Luna has been brought back from being Nightmare Moon and has been reformed. Her design in Season 1 was terrible. Like, honestly, her design in Season 1, Luna, when she was reformed, was freaking awful. Like, I love her design in Season 2, but her Season 1 design is just, oh my god. Like, it's just terrible. It's just, ugh. So now we move on to, like, everything being alright and stuff like that. And Celestia tells Twilight of her new job of basically learning friendship lessons in Ponyville. Like, staying in Ponyville and learning friendship lessons and reporting to Princess Celestia whenever she learns something. And so we get the overall arc of the story. Overall, this was better. Like, this is why certain things need an hour to explain. Like, shows like Game of Thrones, The Walking Dead, Teen Wolf, and other stuff like that. All these shows needed an hour in order for them to help you understand the story of the show. Like, every show that's gone on like this usually needs about an hour. Look, Avatar needed an hour, My Little Pony needed an hour, Sons of Anarchy needed an hour. All these shows needed an hour in order for them to explain the story, and that's being honest. If you were a first-time watcher and only saw one episode of My Little Pony, which is the first episode, you would be like, eh. But if you saw the second one, you would actually be somewhat intrigued. Like, interested in some cases. Not fully intrigued, like, oh my god, I want to watch more! But you'll be like, Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of first-timers will probably be like that if you saw the first 2 episodes of My Little Pony. Not fully sold on watching the whole series, but enough to satiate your interest that you want to see more. Which is being honest. Overall, My Little Pony Episode 2, Friendship is Magic Part 2, better episode than the first episode, and definitely a good second part to the first part, because they explained most of the problems that I have with the first episode. So not much else for me to say. Until next time, I'm Keen47, aka Wolfkeen, and I will see you all for My Little Pony Season 1, Episode 3, The Ticketmaster. So until next time, take care.